Hey everybody, it's a very rainy day here at my house, and I wanted to share an idea with you that was really helpful when I was working with my kids to try to get them engaged with a book that I was pretty sure they would really love. But it wasn't necessarily a book that was maybe the most popular at that time. Often it was a book that I read when I was a kid, and I thought, man, they would love this book so much. How can I get them into this book? Because I just felt like it was something they would absolutely love. Or maybe it's a book that you have read recently that you think that they would really enjoy. And whether it's a picture book or a chapter book, mostly this was chapter books when I was working with my own kids. They weren't like the most popular thing of the day, but they were classic chapter books. For instance, James and the Giant Peach. You know, written quite a while ago, but what a cool story. It was before it had been made into a movie. And I thought, they would love this, but it wasn't something at the top of everybody's list. So here's the how-to. I said, let's try out this book. Let's give this book a tryout. And for kids that are, familiar with tryouts for sports and that kind of thing, or for the school play, they get the concept of a tryout. So what we would do is I would agree that for the tryout, I would read the first chapter of the book. And it was up to them to just really listen and take stock of what was this book going to be about, and was it going to be worth it to continue reading it. And so I would read the whole first chapter, and then at the end of that chapter I would say, so we finished the tryout for this book, so what do you think? Should we continue reading this book and keep working on it? Or is this one that you think just didn't make the cut and we should put it back on the shelf, maybe do another tryout another time? And the key here was that I really had to be completely okay with the fact that they might say, I don't really like it, Mom. And every once in a while, that would be hard, because I just loved it so much myself and I wanted them to love it too. But the important thing was that I was okay with it. And when they knew that it was just a tryout and that I wasn't going to try to push this book on them, it really got them to where they often, I would say 95% of the time, they would want to keep reading the book, because by the end of that first chapter, they were very engaged. They realized it was a good book, whether the cover was cool or anybody they knew was reading it or not. This was a story they wanted to finish out. And, occasionally at the end of the first chapter, you really want to know what's going to happen next, because it's very suspenseful. So this is just a little tip. I would love to hear if there are books that you love from your childhood that you would like to get your kids engaged with. What are those favorite books of yours? Post those below. And if you have had an experience like this where you have really gotten your child engaged with a book that you love, and you found a way to introduce that in a fun way and get them engaged in reading it too, I would absolutely love to hear that. And I think a lot of our other group members would as well. So I hope this tip is helpful for you guys, and would love any other tips that you have on getting kids engaged with great books, no matter what books those are. Have a great week, and I'll chat with you soon.